Hello, welcome to the ramblings of a hypnotherapist's mind. Today I'm just going to talk about why it's important to try new things. With a new year approaching and everything, I thought it was a really good idea to explain why it's good for us. Children tend to learn new things, learn a new skill, new things every 6 months or so. And for adults, it is a staggering 9 years before we get around to trying something new or learning a new skill. That's huge, isn't it? And I was just wondering why, because as humans we've got like this hard wiring within us to adapt and to change and to take risks. Evolution depended on us being able to push ourselves to do new things, and when we do new things we get a huge sense of satisfaction. The brain releases a lot of dopamine and we feel really good when we learn something new. I've just recently started playing the ukulele, as you see there, and from learning that new skill I've started to feel like really good. And I'm wondering now, if I feel that good for learning something new, why aren't I learning something new all the time? And why is it on average this every 9 years that someone decides to do something new? The reason being is that we've got this other built-in hardwiredness going on, and that is fear of the unknown. And fear of the unknown was also really crucial to evolution. It kept us safe. It kept us secure, and it made sure that humans survived. So it's a bit like a seesaw, isn't it? We've got, at one side we've got, we've got to take risk and we've got to do something new, and then on the other side we've got this, we must stay safe. And what's happened over time is that we've developed a greater sort of awareness, a greater conscious awareness. So now, and an imagination. So now, when we're thinking about stay safe, it's not just, right, I must stay safe from eating these red berries, or I must stay safe from that cave over there because there's a bear in it. Now we've got like, all right, I better not do this, I better not do that, or I better not go out without my phone being charged. There's so many perceived dangers that what's happened is, over time, that seesaw has dramatically shifted, and what that does is it encourages us into a routine. It encourages us to stay in the same pattern. So normally, we'll wake up similar time every day. Maybe we even have an alarm, so we make sure we wake up the same time every day. We normally dress in sort of similar clothes. We might have new clothes every now and again. That feels good, note that. But we wear the same sort of clothes every day. We eat the same food, so we might vary it, but it tends to be the same things varied, and that's fine, isn't it? Because it does keep us safe. And that routine isn't necessarily bad. I'm not saying, if you follow a routine that your life is going to be empty, but in fact, actually, routine is quite good for us, because if you think about it, it makes us more reliable, and perhaps it promotes a sense of discipline. So it's not all wrong, but I'm just wondering, does it make us feel really genuinely happy? And over time, the answer is no. Over time, if we stick to this routine and we don't add new things in, or explore something new, or learn something new, what happens is we begin to get a feeling that we're unsatisfied, or we get a sense that there's something missing, or there's a gap, or we feel a bit kind of, I don't know how to describe it, maybe incomplete. And what we tend to do when we have those sorts of feelings is we look to fill that gap. And we will look to fill that gap with something that adds to our sense of routine. So perhaps we fill that gap with food, very common, or we might smoke, or we might drink alcohol, or we fill that gap with lots of other things which aren't necessarily good. Sometimes we might fill that gap with experiencing new love or something, which might ruin relationships we're already in, or we perhaps fill that gap by going to the gym like 4 times a week, and we become like obsessed with the gym, and we'll do the same routine in the gym 4 times a week because we're trying to fill something, we're trying to get that wonderful feeling back. But if we're doing those things regularly in the same way, eating the same food, smoking the same time, in the same place with the same people, all that does is it sort of continues to tip that balance into the sort of stay safe. It's not really giving us a new sense of fulfillment. So what we want to do is kind of try, if we can, to like just balance that seesaw back so that we're not afraid to learn new things, but yet we still stay safe. So we don't need to go skydiving or anything like that. I mean, you could try it, why not? That might be just the thing for you, but we don't need to do that in order to bring the balance back. To bring the balance of the seesaw back, pretty much all we need to do is add tiny little changes first. That's all. Like, so you walk a new way to work, or you get up a different time. Maybe you get up a little bit earlier and have a pleasant cup of tea in the morning, or every other day you get up differently, or you try out new recipes. So once a week you cook something completely different that you've never had before, just so it gives you just that little bit of, oh, there's something new. So you're still doing pretty much the same things, but you're just doing them slightly different. Trying new things like this, what it does is it helps us overcome fear. It also boosts our level of confidence, and if we boost our confidence in one area, everything lifts. We're more confident in everything. If we've tried something new, you'd be amazed at the knock-on effect that will have on your confidence over everything. Job interviews, everything. And expanding our minds, learning something new, also, the most importantly, it releases dopamine. And dopamine is a brilliant chemical from the brain. It makes us feel really, really good. And what it also does is it motivates us. It motivates us to want more dopamine. So trying something small new will give you a little bit of dopamine, and that dopamine will make you want to try something else new, and so on and so forth. So you no longer go into this stale pattern, this stale routine, and that means that you feel more fulfilled. And that's just it, basically. They're the ramblings today. So trying something small new, like walking a different way to work, that could lead you to doing, I don't know what, learning the ukulele or skydiving. Why not? Give something new a go anyway, and I guarantee you'll feel really good.